Dry, mundane, and bland. These are the words that I hear a lot of people describe the average boneless, skinless chicken breast that's cooked on charcoal grill. I'm John Lindsay with Arkassippi Smoke Live and the all queued up competition steak and barbecue team. We've been working really hard perfecting the most juicy, flavorful chicken breast you've ever had in your life, all cooked on a charcoal grill. We want to show you how to do that today. Come along with me. Let me show you how. So we got this family pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts at our local grocery store. As you see, they're really, really thick. And I'll just be quite honest with you. When you cook them this thick, they have a tendency to be tough right from the get-go. Now, these are really good chicken breasts. And what we're going to do is show you how to trim these up for the optimum cooking if you're going to cook on a charcoal or a pellet grill. And we're going to trim them down a little bit, trim them up, make them nice and neat, marinate them, and then season them up. One of the steps there is marinating. Always have to take time with these to be able to marinate and get that flavor in, and it keeps the moisture and juice in. Now we're going to show you how we do that with these. So again, as you see, really thick chicken breast. There's 2 or 3 things we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is just flip it over and spread it out. Now, as you see, I got my gloves on. We're real careful when we're dealing with chicken. And so it's always going to be a little bit more narrowed down on this end than the other end. So what we're going to do is take our knife, good sharp knife, and we're just going to go right through at an angle here until we level that out. Now you're going to have a good piece right there, and we're going to be using this for chicken fajitas later. Cut these in strips, little bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, make a good fajita out of that. But you see what we've got here. This is going to lay flat. It's going to lay even on your grill. And now all we got to do is just simply trim it up. So we want to take any of this excess fat off the edges here. Shape this chicken up. So I've trimmed competition chicken thighs till I thought I'd never want to see another piece of chicken. Well, this isn't like that. You don't have to get quite as intricate with these, but you still want to get a good trim on them. And I'm just going to shape that up, that little nugget right there. All that's going into our fajitas when we cook them. All the little bit of pieces of fat across here, we're taking that off. Don't go crazy with it, but that's what you got. And so that's a good solid chicken breast right there. What we're going to do now is the next step. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but I still like to tenderize these, not for the tenderization aspect. The marinade's going to do a lot of that for you, but I run a pick through them just so the marinade can get into the meat and you can get that extra flavor. So when I do that, we got our grain. Even on chicken, it's got grain. You see it moving this way on those pieces. So I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm just going to just poke it. And I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just poking this, not necessarily for tenderizing, just so I can get a few holes in there and we can get some of that marinade to absorb a little quicker. Now we're going to make a marinade up in a few minutes, and I'm going to show you exactly what we put in ours. We're going to take it to another level, of course, but as we do, we have to keep in mind we're going to have to soak these for about 4 hours to get the optimum amount of effect for that marinade. So that's what I do with these. Now, I'm going to show you one more little trick here, and this makes all the difference in the world. So we've moved our chicken breast into just one of these Ziploc bags, and what I've done, you can see that side, we're not going to pound this out hard, but we are going to pound it out just a little bit, not necessarily to try to get it any thinner, but when we pound it, we're going to kind of break up some of these muscle fibers. It'll make a more tender chicken breast. So as we do, I've seen people just slam this thing down like that. We're not doing pounded chicken or a cutlet or anything like that. We still want it to have some body. So we're just going to be simple. We're just going to simply tap it. Go. That's about all I'm doing. But what that does is just breaks those muscle fibers up, and it's going to make a difference. So we've got all 4 of our boneless, skinless chicken breasts pounded just a little bit, tenderized just a little bit, and trimmed up. And so we're getting ready for our marinade. Let me show you how I make my marinade, and we love this one, and you can use your variations. A lot of folks use the zesty Italian dressing. That's a great marinade. if you doctor it up just a little bit. Here's what I do. Today we're going to use some of this Imo's pizza salad dressing and marinade. So we're going to take this, just empty it into our bowl. Red wine vinegar, use it on almost everything we do. We love this stuff, 1/3 of a cup with one of those bottles. We're going to take an extra tablespoon of minced garlic. We're just going to go ahead and add that in. And that's going to be a part of this marinade also. When I'm doing boneless, skinless chicken, I reach for the big red beef. It just gives it a little extra pop and a little citrus that I like. It's going to be one of our rubs. We're going to also use it in the marinade. Tablespoon Hottie Toddy Barbecue Crew 38 Special. This is a good salt, pepper, garlic with a little kick. It's an everything rub. We're going to give another tablespoon of it. And then we can't go wrong with the Barbecue Butter Bomb. Mix it up. And we're going to get all this stuff incorporated. Okay, folks, it's 4 hours later. We've took our chicken breast out of the marinade. You can see we've got just a little bit of that marinade left on there. Now, we've patted these dry. So they've all been patted dry, ready to roll. Here's our seasonings we're going to use today. We're going to use the Holy Moly by Hottie Toddy Barbecue Crew. This is a great all-purpose rub. The all queued up big red beef. I know it's not beef, but man, the chili powder and the little bit of citrus in this just goes a long way for chicken. We're going to use it today. And of course, the Barbecue Butter Bomb. I'm going to be running it today. Does a great job. So since we patted these dry, we're going to take just a little bit of avocado oil. And these are the back sides on these. We're just going to spray it, light coat. It's not going to need much of a binder, but I always like to do that with the avocado oil. And take our Holy Moly, and we're going to go light coat. Chicken doesn't need a ton of seasoning. I don't want it caked up on there. And we come back behind it with the Barbecue Butter Bomb. This has got some good butter and garlic notes. Does a great job. Nothing heavy. And then we come back on top of it with a whammy jammy. The all queued up big red beef. Look the color this will put on it. And that little bit of hint of citrus. And that little bit of a hint of that chili powder. That's the way we season these up. We're going to get these outside on the Hasty Bake Grill with Papa's charcoal and a chunk or two of pecan wood. It's going to really give these a flavor. We'll show you how we set that grill up in just a minute. Okay, folks, we're out here at our Hasty Bake Suburban Grill. You know, everybody's got their favorite cooker. This is one of my very favorites. Hasty Bake makes bigger ones, but I love the way the Suburban cooks, and I honestly love this powder coat model. It does a great job. So we've got our fire. We just put in a chimney full of Papa's grilling products, lump, and we've got briquettes in there too. We've got that fire set over on the hot side. Cool side has a heat deflector over it. So we can move it on and off and get the perfect grill marks, everything we need. And then when we get the sear on there, move it over to the cool side and get in that 2-zone fire. Now, I've got a little Papa's Grilling Products pecan chunks. You've got to be careful with wood when you're cooking chicken. It's an ingredient just like everything else. I put the rubs on. We put the marinade on. Now, we're going to put the wood smoke on. Don't over smoke it. Be really careful and watch it. I'm going to start out with one chunk. If I think I need another one, I'm going to add the second chunk. I'm going to be running this at 350 to 400 degrees today. But you got to grill. You've got to grease these grates. So that's what we're doing. Got to watch that flame giving up there. And let's put them on. Should be a sizzle. There we go. There. We're going to let it run a few minutes. We're going to check that bottom side. You'll start seeing the smoke come up here in just a minute. And we're going to flip them back and forth. So we've moved our chicken breast on and off the fire, and we've got a great color. We can see some of the juices releasing now, so I probed them with my Thermopin. Now, I've been using this Thermopin 1, and it's almost at 1 second readings. These things are great, showing me that I'm at 140 degrees. So what I want to do is move them back over on the top side and get some char on that top before we pull them, and they reach that 160 degrees when they come off. Take a look at these chicken breasts. They're looking really good. You can see that juice releasing here. It tells me they're starting to get done. Man, they look great. If you knock a little bit of the seasoning off, you can always go back and doctor it up just a little bit around the side. Be real careful putting your oil on there. Get right there with some good grill marks. Flip it. And now them are ready right over the fire. Let's let them cook out. As they're cooking, a little spray butter. All right, folks. We'll let it down. We're gonna keep temping these with the temp probe. When they get 160 degrees, we put them in our full pan, cover them. They'll raise to about 170, 172. They're gonna be right spot on. Now, on the end, one of my special secret weapons, so to speak, for the backyard is this J&N Seafood, J&N Meat and Seafood, sweet bourbon glaze. This is a meat store down in Searcy, Arkansas. James Williams is a personal friend of mine, and he recommended this to me a long time ago. I've been using it, and everybody that gets a hold of a bottle loves it. Give them a shot and try. Check them out on the internet. Moment of truth. It's time to cut it. Let's see what this turned out. Looks like it's really juicy. And of course, you can see that. A lot of juice in this pan. You can see the juice that's in the pan. And when we cut it across that grain, that's what we're looking at. Very juicy. Very tender. The bourbon glaze does a great job. Get me a good bite of that. Very juicy, very tender. We're gonna make some rice pilaf with this and a salad, and we're gonna have a good healthy meal tonight. This is the way I do grilled chicken breasts on a Hasty Baked Grill. Man, you can't beat it. We love these. I'm John Lindsay with Arkassippi Smoke Live, all queued up competition steak and barbecue team. Folks, keep cooking. We'll catch you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching today's video. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. Just click right here. Be sure and follow us on all of our social media outlets, including our website at steakrubs.com. To watch our latest video, be sure and click right here. I'm John Lindsay, and I'll see you down the barbecue trail.